OG talk. We can get into it.
Yes, sir, for sure.
Bet that. Bet that. What was prime you known for? In your prime, what was you known for?
Oh man. Dude, what I was known for?
Oh man, I mean,
Ooh,
Receiver.
Diving for flags. Now ask me if I'm a dive now. I'm 42.
Okay.
Oh, I would dive. I was straight, man.
Early on, probably known for releasing, chipping, basically chipping and releasing,
Okay.
get a get a catch and get out of there.
Okay. Okay.
Like, well, you seen it every time we get near the goal line or near the first down. Watch Jay. Watch Jay.
athlete, a lot of people, now, since, I've been opening up into the flag world locally and, up on 95, a lot of people know me as a quarterback, but bro, I play everything. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm a true athlete. I play quarterback, wide receiver. I like the rush. But linebacker is where it's at now. You know what I mean? Secondary days is over. Them hips ain't turning like they used to.
Oh,
But yeah, I'll chase your ass from midfield to sideline. That's for sure, man. So yeah, but in my prime, just an athlete, bro.
Ooh, two things I would say. First, just being knowledgeable. I think that's kind of led to this archetype of me always kind of getting put on defense on every team I'm on, which actually, most people don't know, actually kind of gets on my nerves. And
look,
I think,
noted.
say that again.
I said noted.
Yeah.
But a leader, you know what I'm saying? So that's, I guess, kind of how that box comes. You know what I'm saying? Just having those leadership skills in all the years of playing various different sports. You know what I'm saying? I'm very vocal and, I embrace the challenge of being able to, gather a group of guys, you know what I'm saying? A group of girls or a team in general and, to try to get everybody on one accord, man. I love it.
Playing defense is awesome. That's great. But, when people kind of marginalize you to that, it's kind of like, but I've done so much more and, I've played with and against you guys for so long. You've seen me do so much more. Why am I only doing this? I'm doing it because nobody else wants to do it. Because nobody wants the pressure of what comes along with if you make the wrong call, other team scores, you lose the game. Like nobody wants to be held responsible in the group chat later that night when everybody complains.
I was known for talking a lot of shit. No. I mean, for me, like, I had to kind of use my skill set because I was a basketball player before I even got into this flag shit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, and see, me and you, we probably got in the flag world late. I got in the flag world late as hell.
Yeah, me too.
Because I started 2016, so I only been 10 years. But everybody like, damn, you probably look like you probably been playing like 20, 30 years. No, I've really only been playing, right about 10 years. But
probably my running. Probably being able to run elusive and having a strong arm. Like probably I'm gonna say, yeah, early me, because I played like defense in high school and then went and played corner in college. I didn't really start playing offense until I really started playing flag.
Okay.
So that's what, so like playing quarterback, I was a little behind. Like it was just more athleticism than just, scheme and reading defenses. My athletic ability kept me out of some, shitty situations.
Was it hands? Was it routes? Was it speed? What was it? Was it the whole package? The package was the whole
Routes and hands, definitely not speed.
Okay.
I ain't really had the speed. I got like sneaky speed. I don't know why. I think that's like long stride. I'm not slow, but I think for me, running routes is knowing how to find an open space, knowing when to cut, when to break. I mean, watching the defense and paying attention what the defense playing.
But the other part, I would say anywhere from, if I had to label prime 2017, probably up to about 2023-ish, really route running. And I think that's kind of a forgotten craft, like a forgotten skill that I have. Like, and I'll go as far as to say, there's been better receivers. You might have guys with better hands, guys that can, do certain things better. But as far as pure route running, I would go head to head with anybody. I go on record and say there was not a better route runner than me at that time, and that might draw the ire of some people, and I know it's going to raise some eyebrows and this and that. But I'm willing to stand on that. So, if you were to ask anybody offensively, what does he do well? Route run. I get open. Route running. So you might close the gap on me with speed. I can't catch like Rock. I'm not quick in the open field like Walou. I don't have the radius of Pat, but route running, yeah.
I kind of used my skill sets from, when I was playing like basketball. So using my height, understanding angles, understanding, positionings. And I mean, for me, I'm tall, 6'4". I got to be a big body. So I got to utilize that Calvin Johnson type of mentality, just go over somebody and dunk on them and everything. So, for me, it's, always having good hands, not the fastest, not the most IQ, because I didn't play, real football in high school and all that. So I just, got to just use athleticism. But, I can catch a goddamn ball. That's one thing anybody could tell you. He's got some good hands, you know what I mean?
I tell you, my boyfriend probably look at my legs and be like, babe, I done left so much turf. I done left so much of my skin in Deanwood. Diving on that turf. Why am I out there playing in shorts? Like, you know that you about to get a turf burn. Like, I got matching calf turf burns, It was never a time like if I got beat, I'm like, all right, if I'm close enough, these long arms, I'm gonna get there.
Okay.
And I made them plays, but ask me now, I think mid-season this year, a girl got out on me and I was like, nah, she's just going to school. Because this going to hit different. And it's going to hit different in so many different ways. Once I hit that turf, it's going to hit different. The next morning going to hit different.
That's the next morning. Yeah, you just wake up like, what?
What was I thinking? Hey, we just wanted to get this back, y'all. I can't. I can't do it.
And I can make plays. So I would say, and I always had a strong arm and just being elusive.
Okay. What part of your game aged the best over time?
Knowledge.
Okay.
Knowledge.
My mind. So I understood football. Like I'm a football fanatic. Like I'm a fan of the sport. So like even now, like I can still run, but I'm a lot heavier than I was in my prime, of course, and older. But I run smarter. Like old me, even if it won't there, like if I ain't sitting in that field, I'd lose 10 yards to gain 5. Now, being more seasoned with the position, trust the lineman, I set my blocks up, slide up in the pocket, and then once I see a hole, I'm out of there.
When I first started, I was a rusher. That's where everybody started in flag football. That's the easiest thing to do. And just the knowledge of the game for me, because not only did I grow, like I took flag football head on. Like at that time, my son's father was like, you're not going to play no flag football. You got an attitude. You ain't playing. Yes, I am. I'm going to play. They was like, you going to be out there cursing everybody out. I was. But
I knew that before you.
I was. But full throttle. I played co-ed. I played 8 women's. And then I developed into a tight end. I developed into a center. I developed into a blocking back, a linebacker. So those over the years are the positions that I played, and I could play in these multiple positions. And just to see myself growing from just somebody that was sitting on the sideline cheering my son's father on at so many tournaments, to see how quickly I developed was crazy.
What do you do better now than you did when you were younger?
Quarterback.
Okay, easy one.
And that comes from just learning the game. And when you, I don't want to call myself a good receiver. That helps a lot when you really is a good receiver, knowing when to break and not to break. So quarterback, you have to really know the game because that's not easy. So some people surprised that I'm just back there playing quarterback. But I tell them, I said, when you know the game like that, quarterback is easy for real when you got the talent around you.
What's kept you relevant over the years? What did you have to change or improve?
Ooh, number one, be willing to play different things. And I always joke with people, the older you get, the closer you move to the line of scrimmage. So that ends up playing a lot of center. It ends up doing a lot more rushing. You move off that island a little bit defensively.
I would just have to improve my knowledge of, you know, being skillful in just knowing like routes, right? Being better in routes or just being better precise, not being the fastest. Not, you got 20-year-olds that's running 4.2s, 4.4s, or whatever. But you have to be more smart and when you grow older, it's more smart, knowing your limitations and just knowing how you can affect the game in different ways. You don't have to be the fastest person, you don't have to be the strongest person, but you got to be very mindful. Like you have to be football smart.
Changing with the game. I mean, the game gonna change every 5 years. I mean, whether it's 8-man, 9-man, 5-man, you want to keep playing long, you can't learn how to do one thing. I mean, like when I first started, it was receiver. I mean, they stuck me out there at linebacker. I'm like, oh, I don't play no defense, but you gotta learn how to play defense. I mean, so you gotta learn how to play different styles, especially with a lot of formats it is now. If you don't know how to do it, a lot of people, I watch a lot of people. I try to put people on, let's play 4-man. They be like, man, I don't like. They don't give it a chance. So. And I tell everybody it's different. Like it ain't 4-man, 5-man. You can't really hide out there. You either good or you ain't. So you either learn it or you just not. So.
But the other part is, really less is more. Like I don't play in as many tournaments as much, but I want to make them meaningful when I do. Like in 2023, A1 only played in, well, if you include Worlds, we played in 4 tournaments, but we came away with hardware in 2 of them. Then in 2024, we played in 2 tournaments, but we came away with hardware in 1 of them. And I've only played in 1 tournament in 2025. If you count states, I only got to play 1 game, but if you count states too. But when we went to Weekend Warriors in April in Charlotte, I mean, you got the 35 ring with Kai and Rock and them. We always walk away with something. So I think you got to make sure that everything is meaningful at this point. I don't want to be the guy that plays in 8 tournaments and loses 8 of them. Now it's just you're just kind of hanging on for no reason. But the other thing that I think has kept me around really is business. I kind of went the Jay-Z route with that. Like, whether it's the Nike deal, whether it's people need somewhere to practice, so they got to come to the sportsplex with us, whether this and that, you keep your name around just enough to let people know you're still alive, you still play. But, again, it seems like we talk about Jay-Z every day. He hasn't dropped an album in like 9 years. So, I think there's just, the less is more approach is something I would advise to a lot more people. If we see too much of you, we just get tired of you.
Really just learn how to block. Because I said the little bit of football I did play in high school, I didn't block for shit.
Okay.
Like I was told I would get the ball and run. He didn't say nothing about blocking.
What do you tell yourself after a bad game?
Better get your together, old man.
You suck.
You gotta be better, man. Like you know what you need to do to win, and just always be better.
No, I keep it level headed, man. Because one thing about me is just like I always pride myself for the teams to always commit. You can't always win them all, can't lose them all, can't control calls. But one thing I always tell in my huddle is like you can control your attitude and you can control the energy. Like the same energy on the sideline is the same energy I want on the field. And I think that's why a lot of people rock on my team or fucks with it is because we keep a level energy. We keep it, keep it good. Now it comes with some good winning, but we don't win it all. And so we just learn from our mistakes, and we always keep our heads up, and we battle on to the next one. You're not going to win them all, but you keep that family vibe, that family energy, then people come back, and then they'll be ready to ball the next time.
Honestly, I don't dwell on it too long. Like, prime example, state game. Like the last game we played, we lost 7-0. And of course, I felt some type of way afterwards, like, because there's a lot that we could have did, and I felt I could have did. Like, I know I could have played a lot better to score and win that game. But shouts out to them. But it's just, replay the game in my head on all the plays that I didn't make that I should have made and could have made, learn from them, So that don't beat me again. And then I'm back to the drawing board. Like I'm back to square one.
When did you get to that point? Were you always like that with sports, or did you actually have an age?
Hell
I
no.
didn't think so.
Like losses, you know, when like younger, man, them joints used to haunt me, like, because I was so passionate about it, and I still am. But it's just like once the game over, I try to leave it all on the field. Always been that way, but it's like I can't go back and change it. So dwelling on it don't really do nothing. It ain't getting me better. It ain't getting my team no better. So you take your wins with the wins, take the losses with the losses, and then you just learn from it. So I say I probably got that way. Probably when I got I'm gonna say like the end of D-Mob, beginning of prime time.
But yeah, I don't really harp on it too much. I'm like, my only concern would be like if it's at a tournament, well shit, states, because that's the only tournament I really play in. But or if it happened like in the playoffs or something. Like I was kind of frustrated with myself in the championship game because the pitch that got picked off. So, but
yeah, I legit been thinking about that the entire time you was answering this question. I didn't think about that until I asked you about the game.
yeah, I was like, fuck. I was like, all right. It's like get it again. Well, shit. I think you seen it when we did pickup after that. I think I might have pitched the ball once. I'm not pitching. Fuck y'all.
Fuck y'all.
That's right. Next season, I'll be pitching again.
How do you prepare mentally? You a film guy, match up, or pull up and lace them up?
Pull up and lace them up. I mean, so it's like, I know what our base offense is, and we can tell. I've been playing so long, it ain't too many defenses you're gonna do that I ain't seen.
A little bit of all of it, really. I'm heavy on film. Especially if it's somebody that I'm unfamiliar with, definitely heavy on film. Because just it's gonna tell me something. It's gonna talk to me. If you listening, it's gonna talk. The film is always going to talk.
If I can get film, I'll look a little bit, but like I said, that's usually more like for states. But as far as league play, I'll watch a few plays. I'm like, all right, like, or just see how you line up, or see who lines up against me. Like, I look and see what your rushers look like.
It's kind of a combination of both. I don't do too much scouting, because for the most part, and like especially in a co-ed, we kind of know everybody. If I don't know you, you probably knew, but it's all good. But I just control what I can control. So just making sure I have the team mentally prepared, based on the lineups that we're going against, and I don't want to go too much into the X's and O's. I just try to figure out how we can execute with the individuals that we have right now.
But ultimately, you still got to get out there and lace it up.
I mean, there's only 8 people on the field, so it ain't too much you can really create. And that's why I say my mind. Like now, if I got my whole team there, I know how I can figure out who you got on what. Like, there's certain formations I can move motions to figure out if you're in zone and man. And if I got everybody on one side of the field and one receiver, if you got 2 people over there, you can't be in man because it's a numbers game. You got to be lopsided somewhere else. So, like I said, if I got LC, Amp, Kai there, one of them gonna always be an ISO guy, and you gonna put your number 1 on whichever one of them I put over there by themselves, and you gonna have your hands full.
You might not be the fastest or flashiest anymore. But what do OGs give a team that young players don't realize?
Structure, discipline, really being a voice of reason. I think the thing about so many young guys, they want to go out there and play. You know how it is when you're young. Well, I'll play both ways. I'll do this. I'll do that. Well, we don't have anyone for this. Don't worry, I'll do it. Then these guys get to these tournaments and they're like, after 2 games, they're like, okay, I can't keep this shit up for very long. Like, this is a little different than back at home where we might have, 2 games on a Monday night. It's 5s. So I think the preservation part.
Honestly, we scheme teams to death.
But also just really taking care of your body, because it's easy to lose sight of that and not have to be accountable for that when you're young. Nothing hurts. You might wake up the next day and nothing hurts. You might wake up next week and everything feels okay. When you get to our age, you got to change how you eat because the food hangs on you a little bit longer. You got to change how you eat to get energy for certain things and not drain yourself. You got to change how much you sleep and get in the bed. And, that's the biggest thing. Like, probably anywhere 2022 and 2023, when our 8 co-ed team went down to Worlds, everybody always knew us for having like the party house, right? Like, we're going to get this gigantic house. It's got 12 rooms, pool, hot tub, all this and that. What they don't see is that we basically gave ourselves bedtimes. We're like, all right, you guys have a game at 9 for fives. You need to be in bed. Our first 8 co-ed game is 10:30. We cannot be up till 3 in the morning hosting people that don't play tomorrow. We have a game, they don't.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't want to hear that because they treat Worlds like, we're on vacation, which you are, but it's also a business trip. We also came here for something. So I try to make sure we don't lose sight of the fun part, but older people, you got to give the young guys structure because that's what they miss the most because it's just a part of your life that you just don't understand yet. You don't need it yet.
But it was a scheme thing. I'm like, all right, y'all got this up front. And more times than none, when you got a real strong front, it's to cover up for your back end. So we'll spread that shit out. Now you can't rush all these dogs. Because most of the time they're physical, but what can you do in space? And a lot of guys that's real aggressive like that, you take yourself out to play with your rush. Like a lot of guys that give other people problems, I don't mind them because you're a good player, you're a good rusher, but you take yourself out of the equation because you want to get upfield. So all I got to do is step up in the pocket, get small, turn sideways, shrink my hips. Now, once you miss, you got 4 fast guys on the outside that you got to stop. And like I said, if your front is real strong, usually your back end is suspect. And I'm going to find that weak link. And once I find them, we going at them. So you're going to have to come up out there.
Being you, everybody circles your name. How do you deal with that type of pressure year after year, tournament after tournament?
I think I just try not to worry about it no more. Everybody know what I used to do and what I can do, still can play at the age that I am now. So I think I get a lot of respect from people as I give it out. But I think a lot of people don't really give me credit because I try to go to the lower level now and play rec. And even I was on Nick team, on the amateur team, I had to put a mask on because even if I do win, they not going, why are you playing? It's like, bro, how old I got to be to, like, what y'all want me to do? Like, I'm not going to never give respect or credit if I go win rec or amateur. But at this point, like, we glad to keep playing.
These 4th and 10s will not stop. Every Wednesday, we got y'all. NahmTalmBout. I'm doing a convo with OGs. Okay. And I decided to sprinkle in a couple of y'all that hung it up.
Okay.
So, it's from that perspective, you know what I mean?
Okay.
What told you it was time to hang it up? Was it body, life, or just was your time?
Played flag in this area, Northern Virginia, from 19 till I was roughly 31, 32. Maybe a little later, I can't remember. I'm 38 now. My last season that I recall was 2019. I think my last game was actually the FXA Turkey Bowl.
All the cleats hung up. I guess I can put it that way.
Well, they not hung up.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I will say, I get the invite. I have no problem with getting my body ready.
I think it was multiple things, right?
Hold on. Before you get any further, my bad. I already cut you off. I know I'm a bad hostess in the third. But when I told Chuck about this, and I told him what one of the questions was, and I told him I was talking to Paul, he was like, I remember when Paul stopped. I remember when Paul decided not to. I remember the play.
What told me to hang it up? It actually kind of goes into both your questions because you have another question about my last game. Do I remember? So I'll start with that one. My last game. My last game was, I believe it was Family Ties was their name. I can't remember. I think it was Family Ties. They wore red, and we weren't winning. And I was on the island like I usually am most of the time, and that didn't bother me. I'm staying on the island. And dude was bigger than me, but I've never backed down from a challenge. It is what it is. So, anyways, he did a basic go route, and I was with him the entire step of the way. But he was taller than me, so it was a jump ball, and he mossed me. He mossed the shit out of me.
Yep. I remember the play too. 100%. I was like, nope, I'm done. This is it. This is a wrap for me. You won't be seeing me back out this mug. Like, nah, I'm good. I'm good.
And after he mossed me, he caught for the touchdown right in the end zone. He didn't really celebrate. It was like nothing for him. I realized at that point, I was like, yo, I don't care that it just happened. I wasn't upset that I got mossed. Everybody gets mossed. If anybody says they play football and never been hit or mossed or something like that, they ain't actually played long enough. But you know how it goes. But he mossed me, gave up the touchdown, and I didn't care. And that was my sign. That right there told me, Trey, you need to give it up. If you getting beat like that doesn't motivate you to go out there and stop them on the next play, you don't need to be out here no more.
So yeah, it was body didn't move the way it used to. You know what I'm saying? Part of it is as you get older with kids, you know what I'm saying? You sometimes you're not in the shape that you was back then. You know what I mean? Part of it was I was getting injured just way too much. I was playing aggressive. I didn't really care. I done broke a thumb. Like it was messed up. So at a certain point, I was like,
yeah, this is gonna be I'll finish this game. I'm not gonna just walk off the field, but I'll finish this game. I'll finish the season. But that was it for me. And to be brutally honest with you, it didn't suck at the time. As like it was one of the things I just knew time to give it up. So I gave it up.
There was no plan on that being my last game. COVID happened. Age started to set in, and I just did not go forward after that.
yeah. And then I started to try to get into rep. So now I'm like, I could come out here and play and pay to play, or I could come out here and get paid to watch.
And get
right?
more cardio too.
And get more cardio, right? So, and then have fun because I'm joking with people and everything like that, right? Depending on the game, depending on what's happening or whatever. So,
and no stress about the win or loss.
yeah, right. So, and then, I mean, just a lot of the politics and everything inside of it and trying to put the team together and then arguing. Like a lot of that stuff kind of got me to the point where I was like, you know what, this ain't for me no more.
Yeah, I mean, as simple as that. I do wish that we could have won the game. But like I said at the time, I didn't care. I didn't care about the outcome. I didn't care about getting mossed. I didn't care about letting the team. I didn't care about none of that stuff anymore. And that was like that had never happened to me in all the levels of football that I have played. Hell, yeah, football, especially. All the levels I have played, I had never felt that way. Never felt that way. So for me to feel this way, I was like, yeah, it's time to go. It's time to go. And so yeah, that was my last game, and that was my exit. That was my time to go moment.
What made me slow down from playing every season? My daughter.
Okay.
Honestly, you know what I'm saying? She took up a lot of time. She went into a league a season where she was playing Sunday games. So that took away the Sunday morning aspect of stuff. And just making sure I poured into her. And it's been work. I don't want to make it sound like, you know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, just my child, because it's like, nah, she nice. So I gotta like cultivate the niceness, because you know what I'm saying. She didn't put it together real well. So that's pretty much why.
What was harder, deciding to stop playing or actually not showing up that first Sunday?
I think decide not playing. I think it's easy for me if I don't show up. If I show up, then I want to lace them up. You know what I'm saying? Just being with the guys and then wanted that camaraderie, right? And then even if you don't play, right? Even if you get in for one or two plays, you kind of still want to lace them up and be ready. You know what I mean? But I think the main thing was, just Once I decided not to play, everything else was easy. Everything else was easy.
Was there something about the game you were low key tired of that you don't miss at all?
No.
Nah.
I miss football. I'll be honest, straight up. I'll be honest with all you. I miss football like it's nobody's business. And it seems like every 3 or 4 months, I'm like, yo, I'm gonna get back out there. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. I'm not the same player I was, but I'm still active. I can still do stuff, and I know that's my heart telling me to do that. But in reality, no. My mind and my body are like, motherfucker, don't you dare get out there. Don't you dare step on that field.
Even the bad, it gotta rain for you to appreciate the shine.
Okay.
Sunshine. So even the stuff that got on my nerves, well, I'm still doing football, so you can't escape it.
That's right.
Because matter of fact, the last time I even tried to step on the field, I tore my hamstring. Not my hamstring. I'm sorry, my groin. Messing around with y'all at that damn elementary school, man. I said no, no. You walked away for a reason. You walked away in good spirits, able to know what the hell your name was and stuff like that. So give it up. Just watch from afar. Watch from afar. Go out there and become that old man that, my day we used to play in 50 feet of snow, bullshit like that. But yeah, look, no, I don't miss anything from it. I don't miss any aspect of playing football whatsoever. Even though I wasn't a big fan of flag. There wasn't enough contact in the leagues that we played in. The couple times I did play in full contact flag, I loved the hell out of that. I loved the shit out of that. But we didn't stick with it long enough. And the one league that we did play in, we got kicked out of. So that's neither here nor there. But
so, but nah. I mean, you got to take the good with the bad, and I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate it also.
As far as football is concerned, I miss everything about it. I miss playing in the mud. I miss playing when it was 20 degrees outside and we were playing on an ice field. I miss that. I miss hanging out with everybody, even though I didn't really talk that much. Just being out there. I miss lacing them up. I miss being on that field. I miss communicating with everybody. I miss watching my peoples make a good play. Like I said, for me, it was never about me. It was always about my teammates. And so when they got to shine, I was happy. I always modeled myself after a little bit of Barry Sanders, and before flag, a lot of Ronnie Lott. But outside of that, yeah, I miss everything. I can't up here and lie. I miss everything. It sucks, but Father Time never loses. So, yeah.
Did you find a new outlet for that competitive energy? If so, what was it?
I did find relief in softball. I always played softball, but I continued to play roughly 3 or 4 more years, a few in FXA. Then I just played in the Loudoun County League, both men's and co-ed. I also found a great outlet with coaching my kids. I've been doing that for a long time, including while I was playing.
Basketball.
I was about to say, I know. I told Chuck, man, yeah, he stopped me. He got hurt in the field and decided to go out and start fouling niggas.
Yeah, 100%. Dog, I was tearing people up on the basketball court, dog.
That's actually a difficult question about finding a new outlet for my competitive energy, because I don't know if I was really that competitive like that. I think my whole thing was always, like I said on the other one, is that I wanted to see my people shine. So I'm out there. I know in football, it's a group effort. It ain't no soloist. It's a group effort. And I wanted to do my part, because I know if I did my part and they did their part, somebody was going to shine. We were going to do it. If somebody was going to do good. And like I said, and Mo can attest to this, I was never one of those rah-rah, get hyped, doing all this. I was celebrating. I didn't do none of that shit. I make a play good. I didn't. On to the next play. And that's how I carried it. So
I was tearing them up. Yo, the person who was organizing it had to call me after the game, was like, Paul, you can't do that, man. I was tearing people up. Like, nah, I was aggressive. I learned, basketball people are soft, man. They're soft.
I'm fucking football players, I tell you, dog. And we soft, nigga. We play.
Yeah. So you gotta remember, right? I'm not just when I played D line, right? So that's the most physical part of this flag football team because it's full contact. So going from that to basketball, it's kind of tough. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
People were going up in the air. Very bad outcomes. Very bad outcomes. You know what I mean? But you know me, I didn't care about my body. So even outside, I'm like diving on the ground. I'm like doing the most and shit. You see what I'm
Did
saying?
it take you a
I
while to
done
calm down out there, or did you never
it
calm down?
did.
Okay.
No, it took me a while. Like I was running full speed on the wall, trying to save a pass and everything and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I was doing the most. I was drawing. Yeah.
I love the honesty, dog, and the awareness
Yo,
of it.
yeah, for real, for real. You got to be real so that you can know how to adjust yourself. You know. So
Like I said, my competitive energy, I guess I don't know. That's one of the things I have to really sit and think about because I know some people would say, "Well, you wasn't that competitive." I was, but I wasn't rah rah like that.
but now I'm much more calm. I still got the energy. I still have the drive and everything. I just know how to use it and know when to use it now.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Like
All
I
right.
don't have to do it every play. You know what I mean? It's specific. Now it's crunch time. Now I need to really be on, right? Or the game is close or just different times you use different energy. So
Well, you save your files to the end. All right,
yeah.
but
Yeah. Yeah. And this year
all
I
right.
got unlimited and everybody getting something, dog. I'm spreading that shit out evenly.
I didn't. The end game for me wasn't about winning. It was about making sure my people did better, my teammates shine, and they did that for the most part. Like one of my biggest, I don't say memories was when we first kind of started. I think we had just broken off in the form Supreme Beast or whatever, and Mo was coming into it fresh face, and he wasn't a football player like that. I mean, he played, but he might have. I don't know if he played backyard or whatever like that, but he never really played organized like that. So when he was playing safety, him and I talked damn near every play. Every play. And he always had a question, and hopefully I had an answer, and then we played off each other like that. And I enjoyed that because he was becoming a student of the game. That was like, oh, that's what's up. Someone who's got a love for the game, even this later in life, that's what's up. And if I can help teach, great. So that motivated me. Hell, that might have kept me playing longer than baby. I should have, just for the fact that me and Mo, we had a good chemistry on the field, and then everybody else would come and and then people at the point at that time probably were dependent on me or like, okay, Trey got it over there. We ain't got to really work with him. He got it. Whatever scheme we run, he gonna get it. And I was cool with that. I love that. You can rely on me, basically. Yeah, being reliable. So yeah, like the competitive thing, I don't think I was the competitive part was never really a major factor for me in any sport, football included. So yeah, I don't. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. No.
Before I let you go, did you feel at peace at how your flag career ended?
Ha! This is. Do I feel at peace with the way my flag football career ended? That is a tricky question.
I did. I can say I was very blessed, right? I wish I would have won a state title, but to even get to the finals was an accomplishment for me. I won numerous of championships, been with a lot of different teams, met a lot of cool people, had a lot of fun. I wouldn't, to be honest with you, in my career, I wouldn't change anything. I wouldn't change nothing. You know what I'm saying? I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. I every once in a while I go through my drawer and find a Outcast shirt. You know what I'm saying? Supreme Beach jersey I gotta throw on. Like, yo, those memories are crazy.
But yeah, I it's tough thinking about it. I do miss playing, but my knees thank me every day. So
I still don't know. I mean, I am not in the least bit sitting up here saying, like I said earlier, like I miss playing football. Flag, whatever, full contact. I miss playing football. But do I? Am I at peace? I think I'm at peace. Yeah, I think I am at peace with the way it ended, but I'm not at peace with that it ended. If that makes any sense. And if I can, I don't know if I can articulate it better than that. I'm not regretting the way I walked away, but I do regret that I walked away because I had to. So I don't know if that's really a regret per se, or if this reality struck and I knew it was time for me to go. Time for me to go. Yeah, like I said, I missed the game. I miss everything about the game. But I also know I can't play the game anymore. I just can't. You know, my body is happy now. My body is happy that it's not going through all that shit to play football. So I'm gonna say I'm at peace with how it ended, but I'm not at peace that it ended. I hope that answers your question. I truly hope that answers your question. All right.
That's dope.
Crazy sound.
I enjoyed this convo, man. Real talk. As always, man. Hold on 1 second. If you're rocking with what we're building over here, you can wear it too. Now I'm talking about merch out now. Tees, shooting shirts, hoodies, sweatshirts. Just a way to say you know what we're talking about. Now I'm talking about. Link in the bio. Support what supports the convo. And let's get back to it. If a younger player wants to last 10 or 15 years in this game, what do they have to learn early?
To use their hips.
Mm-hmm.
To be coachable.
Don't be it ain't about me. It's like find a scheme and the more you can do for your team, the better. And that's with any position. Like, yeah, you might be that guy, but in the scheme of a game, you might not get the ball all the time. And that's what a lot of guys learn when we played for prime time. Like, we had guys that were legit number ones or number twos, you know, not necessarily starting. Like, we played one state tournament, we played TMT, and they couldn't stop the spread at all, but they didn't know how to stop the running aspect of it. So I lie to you not, we beat them people by at least 2 scores, and I threw 2 forward passes all game.
The coach that I was under, I didn't come into a team that was the all-star team. I didn't come to a top-tier team. I came to a guy that was just starting out. He was my coach, assistant coach with my girls, and then he went over to our other high school and is now playing against me. But this is a longevity friend. He believed in me, he coached me, but he also taught me how to be coachable. Me and him, both of us are cancers. But butting heads. In the middle of the game, I would tell him, leave me the fuck alone. I'm rebuttal, going off. Then I do a play and I'd be like, see, I told you to work. It was just, if I knew what I knew now and the things that I have to deal with as a coach, I would definitely tell kids to be open-minded. You know, you don't know everything.
Like everybody, speed helps, but if you can't turn your hips, you're not gonna get too far.
Okay, that's true. I can't. Yeah, this is true. My non-hip having ass. When you first came in, who was that OG you looked up to? The one that made you say, "Yeah, I'm trying to be out here for a little while."
Oh, Robbie Smith and Jermaine Bowles. You know, they were one of our offensive captains. Jermaine was our defensive captain on Outcast way back when. And I mean, I think you played with and against him, if you remember them at all. But of course, Monk was out there with us too. I've been with him. We always joke. This is, if we are to play a game together this year, this will be 14 years. My first game with him was 2012.
I still look up to her. She done retired. Her name is Key Weber. She played with LadyElite. She was their quarterback.
There was a couple of them. Especially from down here, we had. But first, it'll be Smyree,
Smyree.
who, in my opinion, I give him the top quarterback I've ever seen play flag.
He was on top of the game when I first came. They was winning all the championships and stuff. So, and then I got around him, start playing with him, and it taught me a lot. So,
Yeah, there was a couple guys back. Some teams that I looked up to. It's a team called MIS. They were one of the 8 co-ed teams here in Atlanta, and they were kind of like the premier dogs. They the ones that were traveling because I started off as a local team, right, and we were doing good local wise. But it wasn't until like Justice Sizemore. He's one of the top refs now, but he still plays in as well. But I kind of saw how his team was moving, and they, winning some of the bigger tournaments and stuff like that. And I'm just like, damn, I want to build something where I can have some people travel to as well. So kind of, they were our biggest enemies here locally. We kind of had a lot of good competition. But when I first started out, I kind of looked at them and was like, wow, that's a good model of learning how to travel and get people to travel outside of what I was doing locally.
LadyElite is top tier. That's who you got to beat nowadays. Most people say that, they got the all-star team. They do. They got some hitters. But Key Weber, when I first came in and they gave me my first Welcome to Deanwood hit.
Like, he talk it, he play it. But his decision making and him throwing the ball, he was that guy. Like, it won't close. So I took a lot from his game, and then a guy named D-Berry from D-Mob, I took a lot from his game. You had Sonny from Power, I took some from his game, and Ricky Johnson for a Telegon. All of them played different, but I was a lot younger than all of them. And the only thing I had over all of them, my arm was stronger than all theirs at that point.
Slid my ass. I remember it was cold. It hadn't made up its mind whether it wanted to rain or snow. And my coach at that time, who is my friend, long friend, he was like, look, keep your head on the swivel. I never knew what that meant.
But really, it was Robbie. Robbie brought me into the league. His younger brother is one of my best friends. And Jermaine is just who I followed around on defense because we knew he was kind of transitioning out. And so Ronnie and Monk and all those guys were like, well, we need to put somebody in there to take his spot when he leaves eventually. So I just followed Jermaine, and we still talk to this day. And back in 2017, he was one of my freshman football assistant coaches. We just kept our relationship going. So I just kept him around. It's just somebody that I always wanted to do things like.
Sonny was more of a running, like he could throw, but he was short, see the field, play with his mind, smart. Smile had great hips, but he won't outrunning nobody. Smile was big at that time, but he was great in the pocket, like pocket presence. His eyes never left downfield. D-Berry ran the spread. D-Berry mastered the spread. So that's where I learned that from. And then Ricky Johnson was just an improviser. Like, he could throw the ball, he could talk, he could play. And that's one of the guys they talked about a lot before I really started playing. He played for a team, I think, called the Nighthawks. And they said, like, he was that guy. He was like what I saw in Smile back then. So, and then, like, even Smile played quarterback on my 9-man team for 7-point spread, and we won national championship with him. So Smile has always been that guy I've always looked up to, and we still talk to this day.
Until I went to sliding underneath somebody's folding chair, because literally in 8 women's contact, they can, we can body up. As long as we're going for the flag, we can hit you.
Yeah.
It's all game. But Key Weber, she played until her mid-40s. And every year, she like, you retired? I said, yeah, I'm about to retire. I'm done. She was like, you can't retire yet. I didn't retire until I was 40-something. I was like, I'm 42. She said, oh, you got about 3 more. That's what I did. I said, I don't know. This hit different. But Key, she is a staple in this game. She's now the women's assistant commissioner. Director, my bad, assistant director for UFFL for women's. And I love to see it for her. Like that's a sisterhood for real.
I mean, I mean, by age, I'm technically the OG, and by experience, I'm technically the OG. But when it comes to this flag world, I always mention his name, you know, and Kai, man, you know what I'm saying? Kai was, you know, when you see him out there, you knew, like, man, I'm coming, you know, I'm not from VA, so I'm coming from out of town, and I'm looking, I'm like, yo, yeah, he know how to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, he ain't just talking, he going out there, he doing it. Got the hardware to back it up, you know, the respect to back it up. So that was definitely one dude, you know what I mean, to this day, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, gotta respect it, you know what I mean? Gotta respect it. The mental aspect, you know, the physical aspect, and then, you know, you gotta respect that he's trying to reinvent himself right now as well. He's in the process of doing that, actually, you know, playing quarterback, you know, so it's not easy to do. You know, I've seen some highs from him. I've actually played one game with him. I've been fortunate to play one game with him, you know, on the same team. But yeah, Kai's that dude, man. Kai's that dude. Yeah, Joe's another one. Joe's another one from primetime out there in Richmond. That's another one that, you know, he real quiet. He'll shoot the stuff with you sarcastically, but he's not gonna get as intense as Kai is. You know what I mean? Joe will kind of laugh, brush you off, but he's experienced. I mean, the hardware shows itself. The respect that he garners speaks for itself. So yeah, those are two guys. Because Joe doesn't look like a quarterback at all. When you see Joe, you like quarterback, but he's efficient. He gets you know, he gets it done. And to my understanding, in the state of Virginia, when it comes to flag football, I believe he may be a little bit more decorated than Kai, to my understanding. So, yeah, them two guys right there, man. Shout out to Joe Primetime and shout out to Kashif, man. Wow.
Because everybody had been playing longer than me by the time I started.
Just, were there people were there people then that were your age now? If that makes sense.
Ruder?
That motherfucker's still out here. Motivated me like shit, boy. What part of your legacy matters most to you? Rings, respect, or the players you influence?
Respect. No, I'm big on respect. I give a lot of respect out there. Like, a lot of people they take the trash talking personal, but you know, that's just trying to win. But I mean, it's all respect. I respect everybody. I like I said, I do a lot of teaching the game too, so I put anybody on, tell them what they need to know. So
I enjoy this convo, man. Real talk, as always, man. You know that.
No, I gotta tell you a story real quick. So,
like, I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. One of the toughest teams we played this week, in states, I said this week in states, was that PME team. Like, they were tough. They had real football players up front, like guys that you can tell played in the trenches. Like, their trench work was solid. Like, and me playing defensive end in high school, I truly appreciate that trench work. Because in 9-man, I rush. I don't play offense at all in 9-man. I play defensive end. So that trench work, like, that's their heart and passion. And their trench work, they was running stunts. Like, they was bringing that shit. And it was good rec up front. Like, Josh, all of them, they was like, hey, buddy got some game to him. Like, he bull rushing, he's spinning, they stunting.
I go to pick my daughter up from school, and my daughter teacher goes, hey, I heard you play for the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm like, wait, what? What are you talking about? She said, yeah, your daughter said you play Eagles. I'm like, nah. So now I gotta go home. I gotta talk to my daughter about this. I said, hey, babe, why would you say that? She said, you go play football every Sunday. And then when the Eagles win the Super Bowl, you got a Super Bowl ring. I said, I watched the Super Bowl with you. I was next to you what are we talking about? Ooh, that was crazy. That was crazy.
Imagination, boy. They put two and two together, boy. They put two and two together.
100%. Joe, don't start that conversation, man. Don't do that. Then I'm walking around with a Deshaun Jackson jersey, so I got my name on the back of the jersey and shit.
Because we was on like a run, especially with prime time. Like, we was on a run. Like, we would lose, championships in the season. But once we got to states, like we was locked in, and that's all we cared about. And we got that mentality from the guns. Like when I played with D-Mob, I would see, and we would beat the guns in the regular season, beat them in the spring and fall championship. But whenever states came around, they was locked in. Like, bro, it ain't too many. Probably only, now that I think about it, the Firm is probably the only team I can really think off the top of my head that can say they beat the guns.
Okay.
In like a 7-year span. They won 6 championships in 7 years.
Well, clarify retirement for me. What does that actually mean? You just gonna play QB everywhere you go? You're not hanging.
Pretty much. So retirement from the pro level, like all the top contenders, and that's what I mean. As far as flag football, you could play long as you want to. You know what I mean? So,
and back then it was one and done. It wasn't no pool play. You lost, you went home. And they was cocky with it too. They would tell you straight up, who we play, hey, if y'all book the room, look, we'll give you half off. Let me get your room for half off because you ain't gonna need it. And they won't playing. Like, only people I think beat them people was the Firm, like, if I ain't mistaken, when they went on that run.
It's been fantastic, Mo. Appreciate you. Everybody watching Now I'm Talking About, appreciate you guys. And we'll catch you around.
I mean, sidebar, like you say, if you good or you ain't. Like I tell niggas all the time, I don't play defense, but I can kind of hide in 8 and 5, boy. Woo, you get exposed, boy.
Yeah, that's what I learned. Like that ain't for me. Like 8-man, we play 8-man. If I play defense, I run defense. I'm down in the box. I'm chasing the lineman that's releasing, but I ain't down there trying to play corner as safety no more. You know what I mean? So you seen me play a little bit of safety at was the indoor tournament, but that's a small field. Right? I can move side to side there, but I don't think that one-on-one game ain't for me no more on defense.
All right, Mo, what's good, man? I don't even know how to do this. I'm not very good talking into the phone like this, but I definitely want to answer your questions because they're actually good questions, and it's actually some of the things I actually been thinking about, periodically, not like all the time, but every now when I see you post something or talk to the youngins and they playing. So I guess we get right into it. So shout out to Supreme Beast, shout out to the NahmTalm Flag family. It's Trey. If anybody that don't know me, that's my fault because I'm not around like that. But one of the original members of Supreme Beast, that's Beto.
What's up, guys? Now I'm talking about, this is DJ, previously from Outkast, from TTG, and lastly with Iglis and Men's with Supreme Beast. Mo got questions, sent me some questions, so I got answers.
Get to OG mode.
So let me know I get down. Let me know I get down. I get down. Let me know I Just let me know I get down. Let me know I get down. Yeah. Let me know Just hit me Mo I get down. Let me know I get down. Yeah. Let me know Just let me know I get down.
Yeah, man, we talking about rap, man. What's good, bro?
T-Game going crazy today.
Do what I can, man.
You know what I mean? You see what we're doing?
What that? I seen them with the hairlines. Is that Muhammad? What was that? Oh,
That's
Eddie
big.
Murphy? Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
That's young Eddie. That's young Eddie. My wife, Josephine, asked me why. She's like, "Oh, why?" I was like, "What you mean why? That's young. That's Eddie." You know what I'm saying? And we talk about rap, but
and that's Girls Flag right there. Not coming soon. It's here. It's growing, and the coaches in this episode are really laying the foundation. Big thank you to everybody that pulled up, jumped on Zoom, and shared their perspective to make this happen. Y'all are really telling this side of the story. This series ain't stopping either. We got more drops on the way, plus part 2 to this girls convo. You already know 4 for 10 still rolling. Talking about rap, convos, whole NahmTalmBout lineup this week. Make sure you subscribe, tap in with the comments, and share it with somebody who needs to know our girls flag is really moving. We talking about what we talking about. NahmTalmBout.